How you doing, everyone? This is the JFK assassination from Roscoe White's diary, exactly what happened by Badge Man, a police shooter and the killer of J.D. Tippett, his partner. Okay, first shot at JFK was from the roof of the Dallas County Records Building by Dallas Deputy Sheriff Harry Weatherford. Second shot was from the building across the street, Daltex, I think. Nestor Izquierdo Diaz. Shot from the side window on the second floor next to the door and hit JFK in the back of the skull. The bullet tunneled up and stopped. Not fatal, either shot. Third shot from the south side of the center underpass by Jack Lawrence through the windshield into JFK's throat. That's when JFK's arms rose up and he grabbed his throat. Not fatal. Immediately after that, the car braked in the kill zone and Frank Fiorni Sturgis shot from the grassy knoll fence and hit JFK in the right temple. Immediately after, a second shooter, one of the three tramps from the concrete barrier, hit JFK in the same spot, and it killed JFK instantly, blew the back of his skull and his brain out. So Frank Fiorni Sturgis fired the first fatal shot, and then a second one followed immediately afterwards by E. Howard Hunt, Chancey Holt, or Charles Harrelson. Roscoe White could not see which one of them fired that shot because they were in the concrete barrier on top of each other behind the bushes firing. But JFK was stopped immediately in front of them. I'm sure one of them hit. And Frank Sturgis was the other shot. Okay, Badge Man pulled his shot on JFK because he was ordered not to kill Jackie. And that would have been by Westmoreland. The other two U.S. generals were Ed Landsdale and Edwin Walker. Okay, Roscoe White immediately left and went and killed J.D. Tippett. Took off his police shirt in the car, caught J.D. Tippett off guard, shot him 5 times before he even tried to draw his revolver. But it was too late by then. And Oswald was with them because they honked the horn as they went by Oswald's rooming house, and the woman there saw the police car with 2 policemen in it. Well, an extra police shirt was found in Roscoe White's car, and a heavy-set man running away in a T-shirt in one direction, and in the other direction, Oswald. So Roscoe White had 1 bullet left in his gun. He had just killed J.D. Tippett. Oswald and J.D. Tippett were caught off guard by this. Oswald ran instead of firing at him. Oswald had a gun. He could have fired at Roscoe White, Badge Man, but he didn't. Instead, he freaked out and ran the other way, proving Oswald was not a killer. And we know that Roscoe White let him live so he could be the patsy. Well, anyway, there were a lot of reasons for the assassination. Connolly was one of the oil Big Ten. He was shot by Malcolm Wallace from the 6th floor right side window, where Malcolm Wallace's fingerprint was found on a cardboard box, but identified years later. I believe it was identified right away, but it was suppressed because Hoover at FBI was doing the cover-up. Alan Dulles at CIA was doing the assassination. And they had control of the evidence. And of course, LBJ was on the phone constantly trying to manipulate the investigation. But LBJ and Nelson Rockefeller were at the top level behind the assassination of John F. Kennedy. And Malcolm Wallace shot Connolly by accident, thinking he was Senator Yarborough, because that's who LBJ wanted him to kill. It was a double assassination planned. LBJ used his own assassin, Malcolm Wallace, and then the CIA arranged the other assassination of JFK. Okay, JFK was going to pull the American troops out of Vietnam. LBJ's wife and LBJ were making a fortune off of the Vietnam War. His wife owned Bell Helicopters and Bell Aerospace, 51%, controlling interest. And the Paines, Michael Paine worked for LBJ's wife, the ones who were handling Oswald, him and his wife. Very interesting, isn't it? That they just happened to work at Bell Aerospace, that he just happened to work there. Well, JFK was printing $5 red certificate bills without the Federal Reserve, taking away their interest money, which directly affected Rockefeller. So did pulling the troops out of the Vietnam War. And they couldn't get Nixon in as long as the Kennedys were alive. And Eugene Caesar shot RFK at point blank in the back of the head. It's in the sealed autopsy. So, we had a conspiracy to kill JFK with CIA, police, mobsters who were contract killers for the CIA. But it basically comes down to Allen Dulles and the CIA killed JFK for Nelson Rockefeller and for Lyndon Baines Johnson. And for Hoover. That's the only way Hoover could get a lifetime appointment. It's the only way Allen Dulles could stay in the CIA. They had to kill Kennedy, and it's the only way LBJ could stay in office, because RFK was getting ready to expose him for his corruption and put him in jail. And the mob and Rosselli, they were working for the CIA at the time, and so were the Cuban missionaries on the plot to kill Castro, which they turned on Kennedy because he got in their way financially. So it was a murder of convenience, and money was the motive. And Nelson Rockefeller and LBJ made the most money off of killing JFK. Plus, LBJ got the power. He stopped the RFK investigation. Half the Senate got away with the bribery, with the military complex, and they all lived happily ever after, killing people in Vietnam and killing our own children. Well, that's the JFK assassination in a nutshell. Not to mention we live in a CIA and FBI banana republic ever since November 22nd, 1963. You may be in denial, but that's the truth. Okay, have a nice day. Now you know the truth. The truth can set you free. But if you want to be in denial and put your head in the sand, go ahead. You've been told how dirty and filthy your government is, the CIA and FBI. It's up to you to do something about it.